we're saying 111. Some teachers, or at least one teacher, claims that students would not learn curricular content without the incentives of grades. But students with intense interest in the material would learn it without this incentive, while the behavior of students lacking all interest in the material is unaffected by such an incentive. The incentive of grades, therefore, serves no essential academic purpose. So what's our conclusion here?
The incentive of grades serves no essential academic purpose.
Yeah. And why are we saying that?
Because people who are interested would learn it without the material, or would learn it without the incentive of grades versus the people who don't care, wouldn't learn it anyways.
Yeah, versus those lacking all interest in the material is unaffected. So do you think that this is a valid reason that incentive of grade serves no essential purpose?
No.
Like, what category do you think you are in? Do you fall into either category? Do you have an intense interest in the material, and would you learn stuff without the incentive of a grade?
Ooh, if I had an intense interest, yeah.
What about the LSAT? If there wasn't a purpose for the LSAT, there's no LSAT score, would you be intensely studying as much as you are?
No.
And then, but like, if you don't have an interest at all, if there was no, like, even if there was grades, would you not, like, are there people that even if there are grades, they're not going to care?
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you fall into that category?
I mean, there are some things that I learn just because I have to learn it, and I don't really.
But if there was no grades to it, so let's say that, or there is grades. So let's say that so you're saying that if there was no grades, you probably wouldn't study as intensely for the LSAT, correct? If there was no score.
What I needed to get into law school.
Right. Okay, let's take that away. Let's take that away. So take away, just like we have this LSAT score. If there was no score, like if you did not need the LSAT score to get into law school, would you be studying as intensely as you are?
I mean, I might try it just because there's like some curiosity just to see.
But to the same level?
No.
No,
No.
there we go. To not, me either. Nobody, like hardly anybody would. Nobody would care. And then the other option is even if you had grades, so there is a score, are you going to not care because there is a score?
No, I would care.
Okay, so you just said that you don't fall into either one of these categories.
Right.
So does that mean that incentive of grades serves no purpose?
No.
No, why not? So why is this flawed?
I don't know.
What are our two groups are either students that have an intense interest or students that lack all interest.
Oh, it could be like someone in the middle. Like there could be.
Yes, exactly. They're assuming everybody is either all in or all out. And really, I feel like a majority of students are somewhere in the middle. And that's why grades serve a purpose, right? For like students like you and me, where grades will motivate me because I don't care enough to do like to study this much unless there's some kind of reward or purpose for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so go ahead and start with A.
Okay. Takes for granted that the only purpose of school is to convey a fixed body of information to students. No.
Okay, what about B?
Takes for granted that students who are indifferent to the grades they receive are genuinely interested in the curricular material. I kind of liked that one.
All right, let's leave this one.
Okay. Fails to consider that the incentive of grades may serve some useful non-academic purpose. No, that's we're not talking about.
Right, yeah, our conclusion says serves no essential academic purpose, so we don't care that about something else.
Yeah. Ignores the possibility that students who lack interest in the curricular material would be quite interested in it if allowed to choose their own curricular material. No.
Yeah, they would still fall into the other category then, which is not what we're looking for. Right, and what about E?
Fails to consider that some students may be neither fascinated by nor completely indifferent to the subject being taught. I do like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I love this because it's saying like you're failing to consider that maybe not every student follows on the extreme ends of this. Like some
Mhm.
students aren't here and some students aren't here.
Mhm.
All right. And then what B is saying is it takes for granted that students who are indifferent to the grades they receive, so students that like don't care about their grades, are those that are genuinely interested in the curricular material. That would actually just be supporting our conclusion.
Mhm. Okay.
And that's why it's E. Does that make sense?
Yep.